Hello, welcome back to another episode of Go Get That Rose, recapping Katie's season of The Bachelorette with your hosts Sarah and Jay. Hello, Jay. How you doing?
What's up, man? She let him stay after all of that.
Oh my gosh.
All that drama, all that Tasha conversation with that other broad who I don't know who she is. After all their little three amigo conversations and stuff, and like, what should I do? I can't trust him.
Is it too early to start muting Jay Wade?
The last rose, she's like, Thomas. And I'm like, holy. He's sticking around, everybody. Woo!
What? Okay. And with us for this crazy ride of an episode, I can already tell, is Marie Wilson. Hello, Marie. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We jump on the opportunity to have anyone that wants to talk Bachelor with us because it's very rare to find. Like, we're always begging people, like, yeah, even if you don't watch, come watch the show. Come on. But how long have you been watching Bachelor, Bachelorette, anything?
My first season was Rachel.
Okay. That was my first season. Well, my first season was Nick right before that.
Okay.
But first Bachelorette, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've been watching consistently since then, or like kind of in and out?
So I started watching it with one of my best friends, who has since moved away, but we had, every Monday night I'd go over to his place and we would watch any Bachelor show. Yeah. But the only season we didn't watch was Ari's because it was weird. He started watching it and then he was like he watched the first episode and I didn't get to watch it. And he said, "Oh, it's weird. It's different. I don't like it." And so I was like, okay. So I don't know. So I haven't been able to watch Ari's season.
Yeah, it's not anywhere. You can't find it anywhere.
But every available older season, like Ben Higgins and Caitlin Bristow, and I've seen some of the older seasons through Hulu and stuff like that. Netflix even.
Yeah, I did that a couple months ago. I went back and watched. They had Sean Lowe's and Juan Pablo's. I was like, okay, time to get caught up. And I got caught up all the way up to because you can't find Rachel's anywhere either. I didn't watch all of her season, so I'm like,
neither.
Want to get caught back up. But that's awesome. What do you think of Katie so far? And what did you think of Katie before becoming the Bachelorette?
So going into it, I was really excited that she was the one because she always, she called out that girl who kept lying to everybody and said one thing and then went over to Matt and was like, "Oh, that's not what's happening. That's not what's going on." And I am a person of integrity and I live that. I'm like, no, you are there's so many things wrong with your head. No. So I so I really liked that Katie was like, I'm not letting this stand. She's gotta go because she is not a good person. So I really liked that. And then coming into it, so far, she is easily convinced by the liars. And I feel like it takes a lot before she's like, oh, maybe they're not all that here for the right reason. So, I don't know, her and Thomas, that took forever for her to realize nothing that man says makes sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, speaking of Tom, that's a great way. Let's jump into it. I feel like me and Jay, I might be kind of on the same page. I think that Jay, I think Thomas, he even admitted that he sees himself as a politician. Everything's very rehearsed. And he says the right things. Yeah. And I think he that is true to him. I don't really think he did anything wrong. I think he really just got steamrolled, and they were just like, okay, get him out of here. And as much as I love the end with Katie, like, telling them to get out and pulling the rose, great television, I was screaming. I think that was so unfair. I think that was so uncalled for. Like, she was pissed out of nowhere. I just think that Thomas is getting a lot of shit and a lot of heat, and I really don't think he did anything wrong. But what do you think, Jay? I feel like we're similar.
He was honest. That's what he was honest. Because, I mean, let's be realistic, and Sarah and I have talked about this off camera. No matter who you are or what role you are playing in this show, that thought is going to be there, and it's natural. If I'm not picked by the lead, maybe I could be the next Bachelor or Bachelorette or down the road, or maybe even I could be on Bachelor in Paradise. It's a natural thought, and I guarantee you that even Katie thought about that when she was entering her first Bachelor, her first franchise. The only difference is he admitted it. You know what I mean? He was honest about it. And they used that to twist and manipulate to make it like his only intent was like to be the Bachelor so that he could pick from all these 30 smoking hot chicks. That isn't it, you know?
Yeah.
I think it was legitimately like he said, I don't know this girl. I mean, I've seen her on TV, I've read about her, but I don't know Katie. And there's 30 other guys that I'm going to be competing with. This very well might not work.
Yeah.
But like, if it does work, then hey, maybe I could be used down the road somewhere in another show. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. I think it's natural for someone to think that. And I just think it was twisted and used against him personally. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Marie?
Well, I just feel like when he kept pulling her aside and having those one-on-one conversations with her, I didn't feel like a lot of what came out of his mouth made any sense. Like, he kept backtracking and then like saying other things that didn't connect, and I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? So I don't know. I felt like he was a used car salesman. Like, he was schmarmy, and I didn't like that.
Yeah. I definitely think he was a smooth talker.
That's
I think
what I mean, I got everything you said I can agree with.
Yeah. I think he was just trying. I don't think he was as into her as he was like kept telling her he was.
Yeah. That was a bit intense.
But also, like, I definitely respect the fact that he went up, and maybe it was probably manipulative, like why he was the one that said, like, I was here for a platform, or I told them I was here to be the Bachelor. Like, he was the one that kept trying to, even though it seemed like he went and showed up at her door, and he was saying, like, I'm just going to go to kind of squish this. Like, I respect him. I don't know how manipulative that might be, but I think a lot of the stuff the guys kept saying, like, he's a liar, he's this, he's terrible, and I'm like, well, I haven't really seen him lie. Like, I feel like lying would be if he was like, I never said I want to be the Bachelor, after he just told all those guys. Like, he even said to her, like, yes, I told them I wanted to be the Bachelor, but I don't feel that way anymore. That could be a lie, but he was always upfront with her, like, this is what they asked me, and this is what I said. Like,
yeah, like in that truth circle thing they did, the group date, where he was like, well, I don't really care about this, and I don't really care about that, and like, I mean, he was like, the things he was talking about, it wasn't this like, my closest friend died, and I had a drug addiction that developed because of my friend's death. Mm-hmm. Like, it was like all the other guys, right?
Yes.
So his was just like, well, followers and this, and like, I mean, you're right. He was honest. He was definitely honest with.
And to back up his point that he was like, but now I'm here for you. Like, he was like saying all that stuff to be like, but that doesn't matter. And I don't think he was wrong in what he was saying about, like, I didn't know if we were going to be compatible. Like, I didn't know it was you when I signed up for this show, and now that it is you, I can start to develop feelings. And I'm like, you're right. I think he's just, he's saying what other people aren't saying. And especially the one point where he was like, all those other guys had the same thought that they want to be the Bachelor. And Katie got so defensive, and she was like, "No, I can tell you 100%. None of them, like a bunch of them, have never thought that." I'm like, "How? Like you're just really hoping that Greg did not go there for the wrong intentions. Like, let's be honest. Like you're just really."
First of all, Aaron started this whole thing of like ratting on everybody and like this whole spying on people and informing to her. He started all this bullshit, and then she goes and praises him for it in front of everyone and says, "This is what I'm looking for." So she's just sitting on the side enabling all this fucking shit. And I'm just like,
all the leads do.
And I also don't like all this, like, 20 fucking dudes all sitting around talking like, "Man, we gotta protect her. That's our job. That's what we're here for. We gotta protect her. We gotta protect her. Protect her."
What are you doing?
This devolution,
like caveman, like
dude.
Yeah.
Neanderthal, and it's like,
but you know who didn't do that? Andrew S.
Dude, he's my boy. He's my man. I love him so much, dude.
Yeah, everything he kept saying was like, Katie's gonna figure it out. Like she keeps saying we gotta trust her. Like let's just trust her that she's gonna figure this stuff out. And I was like, "You're right, Andrew. You have this figured out. You're playing this the right way. Like, don't get involved in the drama.
Don't get involved, dude.
Don't get involved." Yes.
You know, if you really think about it, it's kind of like if you get a job and your eventual intention is becoming a supervisor, but you're starting out in one position, but that doesn't mean you're not going to put your all into that position, even though it's not the eventual supervisor position.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same idea.
Yeah. Well, Katie kept saying, like, if you come on this show not fully open to the experience of love, then, like, that's the wrong reason to be here. She's like, and he just came on the show to be the Bachelor. And I was like, I don't think, like, time and time again, people, leads, and other, like, Rachel Lindsay, a bunch of people have said, I only want on the show to have a good time, to have fun. I was realistic and knew I probably wasn't going to end up with love at the end of this, and it seemed like a great opportunity, and then love did come out of it. And I think for Katie to kind of love, Jay gets angry with the love aspect of the show, but I think Katie, it's naive of Katie to think that every single guy there really only went through with the process because they truly believed in the love. Like, that's just... I don't know, maybe a little full of yourself to be like, every single one of these guys is gonna love me.
and how can I still contest
love?
No way in hell that someone can fall in love with someone in 30 days, even if they are spending all of their time with them. But they're not. Their time is split.
Infatuation.
Dude, it is not. It's not happening. Whatever they feel, whatever it is they feel, I acknowledge its existence, right?
Jay, let me ask you this.
Love.
Let me ask you this.
They don't know them, dude. They don't know this person.
Jay, I got a question. Okay. You don't believe in the love aspect of, like, this show, but what about the couples that meet in paradise? Do you believe, and they have even less time in paradise, do you think that they really fall in love because they have time outside to kind of meet each other and talk to each other before this?
No.
No? You just don't believe there's love at all?
No. No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say at all because, I mean, there's that, I don't know. You know me, I don't know none of these fucking people.
There's quite a few couples now.
Yeah, like there's the two people who did get married and had kids and shit, at least 2 or 3 kids.
There's
like
a lot of them.
Impossible. But I mean, show me the stats, dude. Show me the stats on after all these years and all of these people, hundreds of people.
But I would say that The Bachelor has a better rate than other dating reality TV shows. Like, I think The Bachelor definitely has a better lasting rate. it's been on longer, and the couples are older, but I think it's better than all those like other ones.
It just ain't happening is all I'm saying. They do not know these people. They don't know them. It ain't going to happen.
But they get to know. We have this argument every week.
The show is to get engaged and like get married and all this shit. Dude, oh God.
And that's why we're here to discuss it. That's why we watch, for the drama.
It is fun.
Oh, yeah.
Very entertaining, that's for sure.
Marie, are there any guys that you like or that you did like that got sent home a couple weeks ago? How are you feeling about the men? None of them. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's still kind of hard for me to really, like, names and stuff are still really hard because there's so many of them still.
There's still one showing up. I'm like, who are you? What is your name?
Yeah, like you see a guy and you're like, wait, he was on the show? What? Yeah. So I don't know, it's kind of hard. But I was on my Google News like feed on my phone, popped up a couple of Bachelor articles, and so I read them because I was curious, and they basically said what y'all are saying about Thomas, and then it pointed out the one guy who always makes the really big like eye bulges, and
Justin.
That's our thumbnail for this episode. He's like,
we love Justin.
He's like so funny, like his face. It was just like. I was like, oh my God.
So yeah, especially at the rose ceremony when she calls Thomas his name and he was like, so good.
So that's just entertainment value. Like that's fun.
Yeah. Okay, that feels good to kind of jump into someone showed up this episode. Someone that I don't think Jay likes. Marie, what were your thoughts about Blake on the past 2 seasons, and how do you feel about him showing up?
He was so into Claire. Like, that was his thing. His whole thing
into Tayshia.
And then suddenly, like, he's like, I don't know. I spent all this time researching Claire. Like, I mean, he basically said that, and it was just like, what in the world? Like,
he loves with his whole heart.
Yeah, and then Tayshia comes on the show, and he's like,
I love her.
Maybe I can. Yeah. And so I'm just like, really, dude? Like, I don't trust it. But I will say his personality seems to fit really well with like what Katie likes, like the weird humor and the sex positivity and all that stuff. Like,
understand what that means. I've yet to meet a single person who doesn't positively.
I love that he didn't bring that up to her, like, unless they cut it out. Like, he didn't say, like, when he was listing all the things why he was there, he didn't say, like, hey, you're sex positive, which I love that, because most of the other guys were like, and she's sex positive, and that's why I'm here. And I'm like, there's so much more to her. Like,
why don't they just be honest then and just be like, dude, I'm here to fuck her in the fantasy suite, everybody.
I'm here to make it to the fantasy suite, buddy.
Imagine if it was like an unrated, honest edition of this show, and it was stuff like that. Like, I don't really know you and I don't love you, but like, I would really love to get with you, you know?
Jay, I think you would really enjoy the show Are You the One, which is all I've been watching the past 2 weeks. Oh my God. It's insane, Jay. You would love it. There are people just fucking all the time.
We'll have to talk about this after.
Oh my gosh. It's on Netflix and Hulu. You gotta watch it. It's insane. Anyway, that's a side. But that's what the unrated Bachelor, like Bachelor in Paradise, that's what it would be.
Okay, well then I'm gonna have to check that out. And
it's great. It's amazing. People fight and it's so good.
All right.
I tweeted that I have a conspiracy theory about this episode, and I'm going to dive into it. So follow over here. Okay, so when they do the chat with Katie and Tayshia comes in and tells her that Blake, and that whole thing was ridiculous, where it kept cutting to some guy in the hallway. We're like, we know it's Blake. We know he's showing up. Yeah. Like, stopping at his neck and showing the shadows. Like, it was ridiculous. And the fact that Katie was like, oh, who is it? And Tayshia's like, I'm not going to tell you. I was like, why? Like, why? Just tell her. Okay, so in the episode, that clip takes place after the last group date, and Trey tells her about Thomas and all this stuff. My theory, which I think I'm correct, is that part took place at the beginning of the week, right before the first group date with Nick Viall and all the truth circle stuff. I always said the truth booth, which is not the show. Because she is wearing the same sweater that she was wearing on that date at the beginning of the week. And Nick Viall said on his podcast that Blake was there when he did his date, and that Katie talked to him about Blake and asked his advice because Nick showed up late on Caitlin Bristow's season and saw some similarities. So he was like, when I was there, Blake was already there. But in the episode, it's positioned like it's the end of the week. And when I rewatched the episode, I noticed that when she's doing the voiceover talking about last night was really hard, it was a really rough night, blah, 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 you don't see her talking. It's just voiceover. And then every time it would say, like, oh, we have a rose ceremony tonight, like trying to position it that it was going to be about Thomas. It was the night before the rose ceremony. You would never see her say that. So my theory is that they just kept cutting stuff. You can tell the audios are off too, so they just like cut it all together to make it seem like it was that day. And she even says at the end of the episode when she goes to Blake and says, sorry to make you wait for a couple of days. Sorry it's been so long. Like, he was there for a couple of days, like, waiting. Even though they tried to make it seem like he was only waiting, like, a day. So so when she's saying all that stuff, and then Tayshia sits down and says, I know you had a really hard night. I know last night was really difficult. She's talking about the rose ceremony with Carl. And Tayshia, and when they're talking about Carl and how difficult that decision was and how emotional and upset she is. She's not even talking about what happens later on. So I just thought it was interesting. Because I was like, why would she wear the sweater again? It has to be clipped together. And then when I didn't see her talking in the sweater, I was like, yeah, they're cutting two different interviews together to make. First, I don't know why. I don't know why they want to just bring Blake in at the beginning of the episode. But I don't know. That's my theory. I hope that made sense.
You're always coming up with noticing things like that, editing and stuff like that, man.
Yes. I hear other people talk about it on podcasts, how they'll like clip different things together. That's why you can't trust a lot of the stuff you see. But everything with Thomas, I don't know. I think that's kind of fishy. But yeah, that was my theory. But I really like Blake. I don't know how I feel about Blake, but I do agree. I think will be good with Katie. You can tell she was really into him. Like, it was really cute. Like, she was really cute. So
to be fair, how much of her being into him is this last week of just all these guys, just in all this drama, being overwhelmed with trying to deal with all of it, and here's this fresh face who's not
well, she said that they DM'd.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure there's a little bit of that. But she said that they exchanged messages before. So it's literally Nick Viall. Like, he did the same thing.
Once again, production is disrespecting the game and cheating.
No, they're adding to the game.
The game. Nope.
We love it. How far do we think? Okay, well, my first question is, did we think she was going to keep him or send him home?
Who, Blake?
Yeah.
Oh, keep him for sure.
Like, when she ended the conversation and she was like, I'll let you know, like, we all knew he was going to stay, right? Like,
I mean, I didn't really know. Okay. I mean, I tried to keep away from spoilers and
I have no idea
like that. So I don't know. Like maybe because I just know from previous seasons, like it always goes so wrong when they let in an extra person, or when the producers are like, here's 10 more people. Like it's
here's
always
Heather Martin.
Yeah, it's always
a week before hometowns.
Bad, like it just messes with everything.
Yeah.
So, but I guess it adds more drama.
I think they did it early enough that it wasn't like Matt, where Matt was literally about to do hometowns the next week. I think it's still early. And I think I agree, if he did show up in the beginning of the week, what you were saying, Jay, about how much of her decision was she needed, he was new and someone else. Maybe she was still really upset about the whole Thomas thing and was like, well, I know Blake will be kind of a comfort or something.
Oh, so she brought him in to be a friend, but is letting him think that he has a chance.
I don't think it's a friend. I think
court system, but he thinks he's playing for the gold. Oh
no, I mean, I think it's someone that she already knows and know his intentions for her. Where all these other guys are saying, you know what I mean,
If she's gonna play the game like that, she better make sure and keep that vibrator, man. She's gonna need it.
Do you think Blake is going to make it far? Or do you think he's going home?
I don't think he will. I mean, he'll make it a little ways, but I don't think he'll make it the whole way.
I've seen people say he's going to win or he's going to be top 2.
Damn.
Wow.
I don't know.
I would think that his entrance will just make the guys in the house be so livid and that
to Thomas, and now they've got another guy coming in, and they're gonna be so pissed.
I think it's gonna affect the other guy's relationships with Katie. I think we're gonna see some changes with because that always happens. It always happens. When I'm gonna keep talking about when Nick Viall showed up, and on Caitlin Bristow's season, her number one guy that was so secure, who she ended up picking, was shaken. He could not get over the fact that he was there, and it created so much great drama between the two of them. So I really hope that happens, because it was wonderful. It was just this natural rivalry, because he was so mad that he showed up and disrespected everyone by showing up 4 weeks late, disrespecting the game.
Disrespecting the game.
So I could see some of these guys feeling that way. We've been here since the beginning, and you're going to show up, and she really likes him. It's just great drama.
Yeah.
I hope Andrew S. keeps his cool. I hope he maintains this same attitude from last night's episode into when I don't even care what his name.
We gave him a nickname, but I don't remember.
What did we? Oh, man.
I don't remember. He's Canadian. Canadian Blake.
Just as long as we don't see American Psycho or Smoke Show anymore, I don't care.
Smoke Show. American Psycho. Do we think I don't know if Bennett is in Paradise or not.
I call Bennett American Psycho.
I hope he is.
When I see him and I hear him talk, all I think about is the movie American Psycho. Wow.
Did you ever see he mimicked the scene? He did a TikTok of him doing that. So funny.
I'm gonna have to do that. That's great.
I think it's on Instagram. He reenacted the scene. It was really good. Yeah, I hope Andrew S. stays out of it. I don't know. I feel like Greg is definitely Katie's number one pick at the moment. Because that we saw, he's the only guy that when they sat down from that date, she was like, how are you doing? And she said that she was falling in love with him already. What? And Greg went, that's nice. Oh my gosh, he's not into her. I just don't think he's that into her. He was like, that's nice.
You think he's going to be on The Bachelor?
I think he wants to be The Bachelor. I think he's there.
And he's
pulling a Jed.
Oh, God.
We need to tweet Katie and let her know.
Well, I'm sure people know.
I should do that. I should tweet Katie and let her know. That way we could forgo all of this stuff, the long journey that I have to go through.
Yeah, we can just end the show now.
Some reality to it. Being inclusive and all that. It's awesome. It's great. I just want regular people. I want regular people who like regular things. That's why we need the hashtag #JWade for Bachelor, because fat guys deserve love too. Man, everybody. And if I'm on the fucking show, we're going to have conversations about things that matter. I mean, first and foremost, are you into Star Wars? What kind of music do you enjoy? Do you like fishing? Do you like camping? Would you rather just be a homebody? Then we got to get the lesser important things, but somewhat important things. Like, religion is very important.
The lesser important.
Relationship, talking about how you feel about politics, how you feel about children. And the thing that gets me, guys, is why isn't the first thing you talk about who is going to move where and how are we going to handle that?
Yeah.
No one ever considers that. I will be a real person. So hashtag #JWade for Bachelor, because fat guys deserve love too. Thank you.
You're right. I feel like, yeah, go ahead.
That does get me that like everybody on the show is insanely skinny. And I'm like, that is so not realistic. Like having all these people that are ripped and skinny. And I'm like, what? No, that's not how people like you hand selected very specific people. Like,
yes,
rather than it being
inclusive
people and different,
Not everyone is a gym owner. Not every guy goes to the gym for the one guy, Mike, was like, I haven't had a carb in 7 years. I was like, oh, my poor man. No sex and no carbs. Like,
I
poor
wouldn't
guy.
Ceremony to send people home. I'd send them home just like if it just struck me in the moment, if they did or said something that I didn't like, it brought out quality.
That's my favorite.
I wasn't attracted to or interested in. I on the spot. Hey, sorry, bye. You got to go. We're not wasting time here. If we're gonna play this game, which the game is supposed to be, that we're gonna fall in love and get engaged, then I'm gonna play it right. And if I'm not into you, I ain't waiting for a fucking rose ceremony. I'm gonna boot your ass right there on the spot. One, to spare both of our feelings from being hurt, and two, because then that I would have more time with the other broads.
They're gonna be like, Jay, we've been filming for a week and we already ran out of all the women. You've sent them all home.
Dude, I'm telling you, I could wrap this show up. Dude, to be really honest, let's be
You're like, bring on more.
Be real about it. I could wrap this shit up on the first fucking night at the entrances.
But then that goes against what you're saying, that people can't fall in love for a month. If you're saying you can be over here and wrap up the show in one night, you just pick your wife in one night?
Exactly. Why am I going to go through 30 days when I can just get it over with right there, and then we can get engaged or not. If we do, if we wasted a week's worth of time instead of 3 or 4 months, dude, I'm down with that. Plus, it's real. If this is supposed to be reality TV, let's do it real, man. I'll be real. I'll see her walking up and just see her strutting like she's the hot shit, dude. I'll be like, later. Before
like Tinder, you just start swiping like.
Yep. On the introductions, no, you got to go.
You just like, let me interrupt you right there. This isn't gonna work out. You can just go back in the limo. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Okay, but let me on a serious note talking about. I mean, obviously, I'm joking around to an extent, but on a serious note on this, who was the broad? Well, it doesn't matter who she was, and sorry if that I call my grandma a good old broad, and she doesn't mind, so I'm sorry. But the girl who came in the lingerie last season,
Carly.
Okay, all I'm saying.
Not like that.
All I'm saying is that I can tell by a girl walking up to meet me in her lingerie that that's just not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a girl who thinks that that's an appropriate or a good way to make a first impression on me. A lot of guys, sure it would, but if I'm looking for love and I'm trying to make a relationship, that ain't it, man. And I would send her home before she even got to me. Just like, I'm sorry, but I'm not.
You give her a robe and then you're like.
Not even that. Just turn around and leave. No,
so mean.
Hey, man.
Oh my goodness. I want to talk about that group date that we did get. We got like this episode felt like it went on forever. I'm going to be honest. It was really long. I loved the ending. I don't agree with it, but I loved the ending. But the group date they did the same exact date last season, right? With Tayshia? The Truth and Dare, when they ran around the challenges were different, but the jalapeno was the same.
Yeah.
Tayshia's was they had to do the no. Was it where they had to do the body paint art, or was that a one-on-one?
No, that was her and Zach's date. No, they had to do the smoothies. They had to drink weird smoothies. That's all I remember.
They had to. Didn't they have to fake an orgasm?
Yes. Which I think was better than.
I've actually faked an orgasm before, so I can tell you that theirs were crappy. Too. True story. I mean, I won't. I'm not going to.
Oh my gosh. Well,
it can be done. So, guys, if you're like, it can be done. You just got to think about it. You got to think about it.
I feel like we didn't, as long as this episode felt, we didn't get a lot of the group date for some. Like, we only really saw Greg and Andrew S. Yeah. And I don't know. Like, I wish I saw more, especially the sweet talking stuff. I thought that was really funny, except for Greg's. Greg's was terrible. It was really awkward, and I felt really uncomfortable. And I just don't understand why anyone likes him.
High five afterward. You see him.
What was he talking about? He was like talking about the states, like New Jersey,
and hard and stuff. And I'm like, dude, what are you?
And they were over there. I love how Tayshia was like, oh my god, he thought that was really good. That wasn't good at all. Like, calling him out. I was like, oh, she's like, he's so proud of that. I was like, awkward. And then Andrew S's is just also made me kind of uncomfortable because I'm like, why do you keep doing the Bridgerton English accent? Like, I get it, but like, and then Katie's like, his accent is so good. I'm like, it's not. It's really not. Like, it's okay. I think she really likes him, but yeah, the date was interesting. Yeah. The food wasn't gross, which I appreciated. I don't like it when they make them eat gross food.
Yeah. That was crazy though, to make them eat like that many Twinkies. God. I was like, that seems like.
I was like, do they have to share?
Stomach could explode like that.
Yeah. That was a lot. I was like, they literally have to eat all that food. Like, I'd be throwing up. Like, that's a lot of Twinkies. Like, that's so much sugar.
Let's not lie though. When they opened it up and we saw that stack of Twinkies, we wanted to eat them all, didn't we? We were all.
I don't want to throw up.
Am I the one that was like, dude,
Alfredo? Yes. I wanted the Alfredo. The chocolate cake? Yes. But the Twinkies? Mm-mm. I was like, or then there was a pile of mashed potatoes.
No, like, what the fuck is that?
How long has that been sitting there? Like, that's nasty.
That's where I draw the line. If I'm one of the guys, I'm like, hey, yo, girl, I ain't eating this shit on Thanksgiving. I ain't eating it now.
You don't like mashed potatoes?
No, mashed potatoes, that shit's gross.
Jay, wow. What about the waxing? Did you like the waxing?
Oh gosh.
That's dangerous. I feel like it's really dangerous if you're not trained to do that. Like, you could, like, peel off skin.
Yeah.
If you, like, leave it. Especially if you're doing his butt, like, his butt crack. Like, what? That was wild.
I'm sure they had a professional there, and they...
Yeah. And they're probably standing on the sidelines. But that's hot wax that you're, like... It seemed like it. Because they had all this stuff in the background.
Like 40-year-old virgin, but not funny. Like painful. That was to watch.
Yeah, it was really. The date was a little. It was weird. I don't know. I feel like those kind of dates that Katie is just sitting over there and can't really get involved.
Yeah.
Like, how are you really learn? And Katie was like, "This date's really important because I get to learn who's funny and who's gonna actually participate." And I'm like, everyone's gonna participate. Like, what do you mean? Like, they're all going to do it. Like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just think it's weird. Like, why are we sending these grown men on this stupid date to?
Yeah, and like if the
get waxed.
If the guy doesn't finish all of the Twinkies, what, he's somehow not qualified enough to be her husband? I think it was the
the same complaint we had the last time they did it. We're kind of like, what was the point? Like, did they win? Yeah. Why did they have to be in teams? Why couldn't they go to each station all together? I feel like that would have been more fun. Then Katie's like more involved, and you're watching it at once. You know what I mean? It's just really weird. Like, why are they on a cab? What was the jalapeno thing? Like, that was like weird. Greg saying he loves her. I don't know. It was weird. It was really. I don't know. It was interesting.
And then how she's like, and then tonight it'll be truth, and it was like
they did that the last time.
But it wasn't like there were set questions or anything. It was just like, be honest with me, and I'm like, what? That's not very helpful.
It should have been like, you can do a dare or you can pick a truth, and it's like a hard. If you opt out of this, then you have to answer a question, a truth question. Yeah. It's just weird. I'm like, why call it truth or dare? Like, just call it crazy adventure. I don't know. It was.
Is the Christian virgin fella still on there? I don't know his name.
He's the one that He's the one that ate the Twinkies. That said, I haven't had a carb in 7 years. Okay. That's why I said no sex and no carbs. Like this poor man. Like, no sugar.
Yeah, okay. I get it now. I didn't, you know me and names. I don't, you know.
I also just want to say I'm getting really tired of the narrative of Greg said it. When contestants talk to the leads and tell them, like, yeah, I'm just realizing that this atmosphere is just not natural to me. Like, I'm really uncomfortable. Like, yeah, no shit, you're uncomfortable. It's a TV show. Like, I don't understand why people keep saying that. Like, Greg said to Katie, like, yeah, I just, like, I'm really out of my comfort zone. I'm like, that is the point. Like, what guy is going to show up and be like, yeah, I love competing after one girl? Like, what? I'm just sick. I'm so sick of it. Like, yes, it's an uncomfortable situation. You knew that. Like, stop saying, like, it's just really hard for me to open up. I'm just not used to this kind of situation. Like, yeah, you're not alone. No one is. Like, no one is comfortable. Like, it's just annoying. It's just weird. Do we have any last thoughts about the episode before we jump into our little segments?
I just want to throw something out there real quick. I was thinking about this the other day. And this obviously, first and foremost, this would depend on what state that they're in depending, you know, like, but say California. Now these guys, dude, because I realized this. I would be really annoyed and extremely fucking bored sitting around doing jack shit most of the time, especially a bunch
of exercise
people that I don't know. That's just not, I'm not that social, right? So I was wondering, like, say in California, are they like if I'm there and I'm just hanging out and I'm just wondering, if I'm there and I'm hanging out, am I allowed to smoke weed?
Yep, I knew it.
Any of that, because I mean, dude, they got alcohol at the bar and shit. You know, I can sit there and get shit-faced drunk as long as.
Well, they have a drink limit now, but
as long as I'm not breaking the law, can I go sit outside and smoke a fucking joint? That's all I mean, I want to know.
No,
man, I want to know.
Yeah, can they smoke cigarettes or?
That's what I've always wondered. That I'm like 30 people and none of them have a nicotine addiction. Like. There's no way.
Don't show it on film. But cigarettes and like smoking weed, a lot of people would be different. And obviously they would never show it on camera. But I'm interested to know what the show's policy is on marijuana. Like I said, considering depending on where they're filming, if it's straight up legal, you got alcohol there. What's the difference? They're both legal. You know, I mean, and obviously we're not talking about like hard, like cocaine or anything like that. We're talking about
not those kind of party.
So, you know, I don't know. I'm curious. I want to know. You know what? I might reach out to someone I know who might have an answer and they might actually answer me. I don't know.
I'm very curious. That's a good point. Yeah.
Dude, I would have to. For one, I'd be mad.
What if you're like a smoker?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to do something, dude. I'd have to, like, I can't sit there because I just can't sit there around a bunch of people and I don't know and literally sit there for hours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like, I would hope that. Do I have a TV in my room with cable? At the very least, may I please have a television with cable or a TV and a DVD player and a bunch, or Netflix? Give me Netflix. Yeah. I'll be fine, dude. Give me
They're
Netflix.
not allowed to have any of that. Or books. You can, like, journal. Yeah, you're not allowed to have music, phones, TV, newspapers, magazines.
Dude, I think that I'm out.
You might be able to. They want people to spend as much time together as they can. Like, they're not. Like, that's why you see them always painting their nails and, like, in groups, like, just sitting around talking, because they're literally not allowed to do anything. Like,
okay, let me practice.
Because they don't want them to, like, just be off by themselves, like, reading. Jay's always got to show his feet on these shows.
Hold on. I'm practicing here.
What are you practicing?
Hey, Mark. Dude, that was a great group date last night, wasn't it?
No, the guys are painting their nails.
Oh, okay. You should have specified that.
Oh, my goodness. I meant the girls. I'm sorry. I should have specified it. Okay, well.
High school, man. I was goth, dude.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? The guys might be painting their nails. I don't know. Who am I to say?
Horror picture show on the weekends and drag. Dude, I'm hip. I know what's what. It's all good, baby. Rocky Horror. Dude, even this
I don't know if that's hip anymore.
Even this one time we went, man, I was wearing.
Okay, I'm moving on. We got to get through the show. We can talk about that later.
I was wearing the dress, dude, and then the girl was wearing the black floor-length skirt. No, I had the skirt on. She had the dress, and we liked each other's outfits more. So we went to the bathroom and we switched outfits before we went to Rocky Horror.
Is that true?
Yes, that's absolutely true. Rocky Horror Picture Show, dude. I'm telling you.
Was it someone you knew, or you just switched?
I was a little gothic fuck. I liked her outfit more. I liked her dress. She liked.
Did you know her?
Yes, we went to.
High school. I thought it was some random person. You're like, I like your dress. You want to switch?
No, we went to high school together.
Oh, and they were like, okay. Well, okay, we had a rose ceremony. I'm just gonna cut off Jay. Keep going.
Paint my nails with the boys. Best of them, baby. Yeah.
I'm sure you could.
Thank you.
All right, rose ceremony. Like we said last
technique, actually, get it on the same with the finger.
I'm muting. I'm muting Jay. Okay, last week we had just ignore. I can't. Last week we announced that we are no longer doing our fantasy league that we tried to do with points and stuff because it just got complicated, and welcome back, Jay. It just got a little bit too big for us to handle, but instead, we are going to, whoever drafted the winner, the last person to get picked is who will win our fantasy league, instead of, we had like points, you like win points, lose points for each action or whatever, and we were just arguing all the time, so it wasn't fun. So we're going to fix that and be back for Michelle's season. But I just want to update after 4 people went home. We had Christian go home, the Boston guy, who didn't really talk much. We had David, who we saw once, go home. The other Connor C, who we also saw once, go home. And then, of course, the switcheroo, Thomas, got sent home, which I think she should have gave that rose to someone else for them to stay. I think that was kind of rude of her to waste that rose to make a point, but, it's fine. Whatever. Because of those 4 guys leaving, our ranking now, I only have 2 guys left. I lost David and Connor C, so great. Good on me. I have Andrew M and Brendan. Don't know who they are. Well, Brendan pulled Katie aside and talked to her at the cocktail party, and Andrew M talked to her on the date. They briefly got shown, but I made it through another week. I think they will both be gone next week, so I will be out next week. But it's fine. Kaylin has 2 out of 7 left. She has James, the box guy, and Courtney, who we saw a little bit of. Jay Wade has 4 of his 7 left. He had Thomas. Wait, you really know how to pick him. Thomas got sent home. And you have Greg left, Josh, the really cute one, Justin with the eyebrows and the crazy expressions, and Trey. Jay, how do you feel about Trey and having Trey?
A little bitch. No.
I honestly understand both. I understand what he was saying, and Katie did keep saying, like, I want to know everything, and validated him, so I understood why, but I also understood where Andrew was like, yeah, but she also said to trust her, so I got both points. Like, I understand what everyone was going through, but
which I'll get into in a second.
You said what?
Colors.
And then Pookie, aka Kaylin's husband, has 5 of his 7 people left. He's doing the best out of all of us. He has Andrew S., Mike the Virgin, Michael, who we love Michael, Connor B., Cat Guy, and Hunter, who, from the looks of it, we're going to get a lot of drama with Hunter next week. And I still don't really like Hunter, and I feel like I'm going to be validated as in why. So, good to know. Jay, what were your thoughts about Trey?
Well, I'll get into, there's a lot of confusion.
Yes.
There's a lot of confusion going on, and I'll address I'll say what I mean when we do the colors segment.
Okay, well, speaking of that, we are going to go into our other segment where we give a rose to anyone who we felt like went home wrongly, was wronged, should have stayed around longer, should have got another chance, and we picked a colored rose to symbolize our feelings, or, right, what we would want to say, I don't know. So Jay, why don't you start with the person you picked and the colored rose that you would give them?
I picked Thomas.
That's who I picked.
That's okay. And as far as the color, I picked mixed colors. When you combine a mix of colored roses, you can send multiple or slightly different messages, which is exactly what Katie has been doing this entire season.
Ooh.
I want you to be honest, and then on the other hand, getting mad at the dude who was honest about something that anyone and everyone in their position would think about, including the lead herself. Mixed messages, lots of confusion. I would give Thomas the mixed colors.
Very good, very good. Marie, did you have one? We kind of threw this segment at you.
Yeah, not really. I don't feel like I knew the others that went home all that well. So
honestly, same.
And with Thomas, I was glad that he went home just because of the all the guys being so against him and it causing so much tension. So.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. That is very true. I don't think we knew any of the other guys either. So I am also going to give my rose to Thomas, but my rose is going to be a black rose, which the black rose, hold on, I gotta find what it said. It says it can have many meanings. It has been synonymous with death and mourning, is usually used at funerals, and Katie definitely roasted him and gave him his funeral at that exit, so that is his black rose. See you in paradise, Thomas. See you in paradise.
Oh, God.
Just literally gave him his setup.
Okay. Thomas and Queen Bee, who is Victoria from last season. Matt, let's see Thomas and Queen Bee hook up.
Oh, no, thank you.
Show.
Well, you know that, Aaron's going to be there. They're going to have all the drama starters be back in paradise.
You don't know this, Marie, but Sarah's well aware of this. But, for me, as long as Wells is there, I don't care who else is there. As long as Wells is there to serve
crazy
advice. I want a show. I've said this before. I want a show that is Wells and Demi sitting at that fucking bar, having drinks and making fun of everybody and everything. That was
I love it.
That season, that last Bachelor in Paradise. It was so awesome.
Marie, is there anyone that do you watch Bachelor in Paradise? I'm assuming you do. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anyone that you were looking forward to that you hope shows up, or people that you hope do not show up in Paradise?
I don't know. I'm trying to think back.
None of Peter's girls.
They were, oh my God, all of Peter's girls were like, they all seemed like they were teenagers. Like, I didn't understand what in the world was going on. So yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. I kind of let it just come to me and see what happens. But the one person he was on Bachelor. What was Mike on Bachelor in Paradise?
Yes.
Okay, because I wanted him to be the Bachelor.
Yes, same. Us too.
Yeah.
We wanted Mike. We were champion Mike to be the Bachelor.
Mike was great.
He was awesome. So, well, but people come on Bachelor in Paradise multiple times sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, there's a few of them that will go on. I mean, Chris Bukowski went on like 4 times.
God.
So, here's hope. I hope Chris shows up. I'm gonna be honest. I love Chris Bukowski. I would love to see him show up again after the engagement didn't work out. But yeah, that'd be interesting. Anyway, any last final thoughts about this episode, or Paradise, or Thomas, or Katie?
I've said it.
Go ahead.
I have one thing.
Yes.
So Blake, you're talking about the date that was similar in Tayshia's season.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly how he did it, but I remember it being real weird. His fake orgasm.
Whose?
Was Blake's.
Yes. It was really awkward. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it being awkward.
So, like, I think that's really interesting. It was just like, I don't know. I just wanted to, point that out because that stuck in my head. Like, that about Blake, that he did that, and it was real awkward and weird. So
Blake did a lot of really weird.
That is true. He did. He
made a penis out of clay. Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you in high school? Like, what? Like, or middle school? Not even high school. Yeah. We'll see. I think Katie would like that though. Like, I think I agree. I think out of all the Bachelorettes that he was on, I think Katie is the best fit for him, just personality wise. I didn't really think Tayshia's, not to say Katie isn't classy, but I feel like Tayshia is a little bit more, like, holds herself a little bit more like socialite, sophisticated, and I just did not see that blending with Blake at all. But yeah, and we'll see. We will see next week what happens with Blake. I'm super excited. Marie, thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun.
Yes, thank you guys.
Of course, you're welcome back anytime. Honestly, anytime to talk to us about Bachelor. We will take it. In the meantime, where can people find you, follow you?
You can find me on Twitter at Alia Morgaine.
Ooh.
All right.
Love. Jay Wade. Where can they find you? Where can people follow you?
Don't follow me home, but you can follow me on Twitter at JWade1134. That's the letter J, WADE 1134. Sarah rolled her eyes because that's an old joke. Sorry, but not everyone watches the show.
Every time.
Maybe somebody will see it who's different.
Dad.
Also follow at the JCast Network on Twitter, which is this network here, and also at Go Get That Rose, which Sarah runs that. So
I try. I try to run it. And yeah, you can follow me at Twitter at SCBOC, SSEA, BOCK. It is on the screen. And I guess I'll plug, we do the Star Wars shit show on this channel every Friday at 6:30, covering the Bad Batch. And we are also, I am also hosting the Loki recap show with Jay and Sean and Dean. It's a handful most of the time. That is every Thursday on the Merc and Movie Blog channel. I don't know what day it is. I get my days mixed up all the time. But it's a lot of fun over there, I believe at 7 o'clock Yes, a lot going on. But we will see you next week to recap the next episode of The Bachelorette. Can't wait to see what happens. Until then, bye-bye!
Bye.
You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.